Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have The Sandlot Heading Home. It was originally called The Sandlot 3. It was a direct-to-video movie. It's only about an hour and 30-some minutes long, an hour and 36. It's from 2007, and it doesn't really follow the original characters from the thing, although there is a connection. I'll get to that in a minute. It follows a kid named Tommy Santarelli. Well, he's not a kid; he's a grown adult. He plays for the Dodgers, and he's portrayed by Luke Perry, the late Luke Perry. Sadly, he lost him a little over a year ago, this last month, and yeah, so he basically plays this really cocky, just complete jerk in baseball, and he's top of his game technically, or at least he was, and he still thinks he's the biggest deal in baseball and treats everybody like crap. And I thought it was a really strange since I had no idea what this is about, I thought it was a really strange start for a movie about the love of baseball, but I quickly realized what this was all about, and I kind of liked the concept, although it was a little overplayed at times. But the Tommy gets knocked in the head with the ball during practice, and he gets knocked out, and he wakes up in the Sandlot, and it's 1976, and he's a new kid in town, and the other kids he kind of remembers, sort of, but it was for a short time during that time that he interacted with these kids, and he was making references to 21st century stuff, and he knows the history of all these different people and all these different guys who did actually go into the majors and some of the minors, and everybody's like, what are you talking about? What happened in 1981 or 92 or whatever? You're just talking gibberish. And so when he finally works through all that, he comes down to, you know what, I'm going to start playing baseball with these guys. There's certain circumstances that come around because he crosses paths with some other kids who are jerks, kind of like he is as an adult. And he sides with the underdogs, surprisingly, because he kind of likes the kids, and he also knows their coach in a sense. Who's a guy named Benny, which is actually the older version of Benny in the original Sandlot. So, but it's played by a different actor. Danny Nucci plays him, different actor, so plays that role. Speaking of other actors from the original movie, Squint, the actor who played Squints, actually plays Squints again, and is actually the sponsor and coach for the team, the official coach for the team. He didn't get into the majors like Benny did, but he runs a pharmaceutical place in the town where they are, and so Squints is the actor and character is only true holdover from what I can tell. It's been a while since I saw the original Sandlot, but I did my research here to a certain point, and Squints is the only real full holdover from the original story. There are tons of references to the original as well, including an adventure into Mr. Myrtle's house, and no Mr. Myrtle. But and it is, I mean, the original Sandlot took place in 1962. Even it was an 80s film, 90s film. Gosh, I can't even remember. But yeah, it was an 80s film. Anyway, Mr. Myrtle doesn't show up there, but there's a really strange sequence that takes place in his house where Tommy, using his memories of the place, goes into that house to get something that he treasures, which is an autographed ball from the 1962 Dodgers or something. I can't remember which team it was, but it was something that he treasured. The weird thing is that Mr. Myrtle seems to have set up a series of baseball-themed booby traps that would make Indiana Jones think twice about getting in there. Honestly, I think all the booby traps were meant to just scare children as compared to injure them or harm them in any way, because it's just, here's a joke that recurs a few times. There's bats, baseball bats, no, bats, and then bats come flying out of the basement. And honestly, it looked like crew members just took black rubber bats that they got at a Halloween store and just threw them at some webbing near the doorway. So you could just while the kids ran away, and it looks kind of fake, but yeah, it's funny. It's honestly, speaking of funny, this actually is a cute film. I'm not a big baseball fan. I love seeing live baseball games, but it's not like am loyal to any team or anything. Even the Dodgers, even though I live in LA. So it's Tommy goes through this whole ordeal. By the way, this is a 20th Century Fox film that's now on Disney Plus. It's not a Disney film, but it does qualify for a Disney dead parent trope, even though technically, because he goes back in time, his mom is not dead. And of course, he learns a lesson about being a good person and doing right by your friends and having that be more important than the game. It's nothing I couldn't have told you. Just looking at the whole purpose of a movie like this, it's always going to be about what's more important, baseball and friendship, or winning, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a fun film. I think kids who love baseball are gonna, especially if you're like 12, like most of these kids in this movie have a great time watching this. There's lots of goofy, funny little moments of them trying to sneak into a screening of Young Frankenstein, and yeah. So it's there's lots of little bits in here. It's not the classic. It's not going to be the Sandlot. So if you're looking for the classic, you're not going to find that. No, you're gonna. I think if you love baseball, I think you'll enjoy this film. But yeah, expect a good series of baseball montages and a ball game that, of course, it's another movie trope that in order to save the Sandlot, the kids have to win a game against the rival team that features the bully who's the son of the guy who wants to bulldozer the entire thing and turn it into apartments. So yeah, it's a little cliche in that sense. But yeah, man, that's just an odd picture. I don't even know who is that kid. I watched the movie, and it's not the main character. Okay, so that kid's in it, but yeah, I recognize him, but not. I don't even think he's a main character. So yeah, hey, we got the. Unfortunately, since The Sandlot is no longer on Disney Plus for some reason, you can still watch. And also, The Sandlot 2 is not on anymore. I checked that as well. This is the only Sandlot you got. Sandlot Heading Home. So if you got an urge to see something with the word Sandlot in it, this is your chance. All right, let's pick tomorrow's Everyday Challenge. 540. I think we've had this number before. I always say that, but I have a good sense for these things. No, I didn't. I'm wrong. Sorry. 540. I don't know what this is. It sounds familiar, but I don't know. It's a movie. It's Tall Tale. So yeah, Tall Tale. Just mistangled by one, and whatever else was before it. Tailspin was just before it, but Tall Tale, number 540, Tall Tale on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and I'll see you back here tomorrow to talk about it. See you then.